The Girl in the Mirror, the first book in the Sam Chronicles, by Trish Brown. The story begins with the dramatic uprooting of Sam when she is forced to leave the home she loves in Illinois and move to Arizona, and continues with two young girls struggling to save the earth from uncertain doom. The vivid personification of the road trip, with the cows, leaves, and the trees, adds a layer of malevolence to the journey, reflecting Sam's turbulent emotions. Something sinister is going on, possibly, no strike that, probably aided and abetted by the US government. Someone's taking people. Really smart, probably genius-type people. And then there's the senseless slaughter in parks and hospital parking lots. Which, by the way, always seems to happen just after Sam and Mirror Girl vacate the premises. Did Frankenstein, aka Dr. Saveearth, send an assassin after them? How else would Ripper, aka Jack the Ripper, know where they are if Frankenstein didn't rat them out? So what is causing the unexplained disappearances of scientists in national parks? And where are they? What are they doing with them? We are only 11, what can we do? While seeking refuge from her mother and the hated new life in the hated new witch house, Sam discovers a girl who resembles her in the mirror. Acting like a portal, it exchanges the two girls. The new girl is transported to Sam's witch house, while Sam is teleported to a smelly bat-filled cave. At first, it seemed that the hideous trees were trying to block their escape, but then they veered hastily out the way at the last minute, abandoning their original malicious intent, and instead barricaded the way back to Illinois. Even the gorgeous sunset could not spoil Sam's foul mood. Bright orange, yellow, and red mixed with a pink and blue sky coyly flirted with the young occupant in vain. Sam raged in silence, glaring at her mother, staring blindly with tear-laden eyes out the window, disparaging as familiar landscape raced past. She longed for her mom to change her mind and turn around. Sam sunk further down in the seat, clutching Bob. "I will not cry. There they are, Farmer Joe's fat cows feeding their faces as if nothing is wrong. What? Can't even be bothered to look up to say goodbye?" The car was going faster now, its intent clear. It wanted to ruin her life. Sam narrowed her eyes at the errant leaves storming her window. Terrified at the scowling girl's glowering face, they immediately ceased their assault, and shrinking back in fear, the attacking leaves contented themselves to blitz the car trunk instead. Goaded by the leaves, the malevolent road joined the spiteful trees and chanted a hateful melody. "So glad you're gone. So glad you're gone." Exhaustion overcame bitterness, and Sam sank into a fitful sleep, ignoring the mocking goodbye salute of the trees. "Daddy," Sam whispered as she fought sleep. "I don't want to do this. I'm scared. Please, Daddy." Contemplating of how unbearable she was going to make her mother's life, she saw a flash in the mirror again. Sam sat up. There was something there. She was sure of it. Sam moved closer to the mirror, making sure to avert her eyes. She bent over and pretended to pick pieces of lint off the carpet. Seemingly satisfied with her fake chore, humming absent-mindedly to herself, Sam walked out of the room as if she just remembered a task she needed to complete. Once out of sight of the mirror, she turned around and peeked through the doorway at the mirror. There it was again. Tiptoeing to the mirror, she mustered up her courage and inspected it more closely. Tentatively touching the surface, Sam willed the thing to show itself. Sam tapped on the glass. She drummed a slow, methodic rhythm, at first with one and then two fingers, then the beat increased in pace and tempo, accumulating in an impressive cadence. She tried to repeat the sequence, but as she was untrained, her composition only increased in loudness and ended in an amazing, she thought, crescendo. Sam was rewarded almost immediately for her ingenuity. A small girl peered back at her. She was the same. Almost, anyway. But different, too. The girl's big eyes blinked at Sam. Sam returned the blink. Slowly, the girl touched her side of the mirror. Sam followed the mirror girl's action. The two girls' hands met perfectly on the glass mirror. Great. Just flippin' great. Sam spat the words out with extra venom on the word flippin'. I get this awesomely flippin' experience while that flippin' imposter is snug and warm in my bed, in my house, with Bob. She looked around the dank enclosure. Shivering from fear, she hugged her legs to her chest and wiggled to her feet. She could hear some muffled noises, but couldn't make them out. Sam wasn't unduly concerned. She had been in worse predicaments than this before. Okay, so maybe that's not true, but she has seen some pretty scary movies, so this situation isn't all that bad. Her jail seemed to be some kind of a cave. The musty smell that assaulted her lungs was the first clue. She imagined rather than felt water dripping off stalactites. Somehow, she knew that the dripping water would be cold. She shivered as if the water had soaked her summer clothes, chilling her to the bone. Then there was the eerie chirping. And that dank odor. OMG. Sam shot an accusing glance at the loathsome mirror. She picked up a large rock and threw it, but the rock only glanced off its target. The mirror laughed at her puny effort. She picked up another rock, and this time, she threw it back down to the ground. "You," she exclaimed. "That's exceedingly disgusting." Sam looked at her hand. The rock was smeared with black, sticky gobs of gummy soft stuff. She looked closer at the gobs and could see insect parts. Translucent wings and insect remains were glued to the black gob and scattered on the floor of the cave like a carpet. Guano. I knew it. I hate that poop. Dr. Saveearth watched Sam's awakening through the portal. Hopefully, it was not too late. He was concerned, but not overly concerned about her apparent lethargic demeanor, but anticipated that she would be up to snuff when she was reintegrated with BG-11. Apart, they were disjointed and inept. Together, they were an unrelenting force. It was the dynamism that provided the power. AG-11, reconnect with BG-11 immediately. Dr. Saveearth was agitated, and when he was agitated, he sweated profusely. He wrung his hands and paced back and forth. A little man with Einstein hair, gigantic hands, and an inflated sense of self if you ask me, thought Sam. Although clearly distressed and nervous, for some reason, Dr. Saveearth elicited calm and self-control in others. He built restraint, discipline, and self-will in all his AIs, but especially the G11 models. Last thing he needed was a G11 AI to run amok, given their aptitude.